It's just all about love and life and living in freedom. That's what it's all about for me now.
Welcome to the Rich Spinster podcast. This is Alexis. I took a couple of weeks off, everybody, and in that couple of weeks, all hell has broken loose. So let's start. Let's just go ahead and get the main thing out of the way here, which is the United States and Israel's war on Iran. Because, hey, this is a warmonger in office right now. And you can call other presidents warmongers if you want to, but this guy treats war like it's a game. He acts like he's playing Atari. That's what he treats it like it's really not real people on the ground losing their lives. They don't matter because he called them casualties. Things just happen in war. Yes, people die in war. That's why it's serious. That's why we should only act militarily when we have to, when we absolutely have to. That's why that we should not only have someone in office that cares for the lives of American citizens, but that cares for lives, period. This is your pro-life candidate. My God. How many countries have been bombed in this year? 8 by the United States? I don't know. I can't keep count. But guess what? We're bombing another one. Trump voters, sign up. If you voted for this, didn't vote, or voted for Jill Stein, sign up. Man or woman, go sign up. Go take your MAGA hats with you. Go fight in the war that you voted for. 18 to 108, get your ass down to the office and sign up. If you're one-legged, if you're toothless, if you're bow-legged or blind, sign up. If you're on dialysis, if you have a colostomy bag, whether you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or mesothelioma, sign up. If you're in a wheelchair and you voted for Trump, go ahead and roll your ass down to that office. Sign up. You voted for this. I don't care if you have MS, ALS, ADHD, VD, or ED, SIGNUP. Diabetic, take that insulin off to the battlefields. Asthma, put that inhaler in your boot and march your ass down to that office. If you're deaf, literally sign up. Come up on out of those churches, those VW halls, and those nursing homes. If you voted for Trump, take your ass and sign up. All of you leftists who were obsessed with Kamala Harris not being president, that you show up to her book stops protesting, fold up that construction paper and take your ass on the battlefield. And also, to hell with basic training. Y'all just need to wing it on the job, just like Trump appointments. Did you fight in Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq? Thank you for your service. But if you voted for this, go do it again. That's right, everybody. You need to sign up. If you did not vote for Kamala Harris, this is your time. This is your moment. I support you in doing the honorable thing and signing up for his wars. Because what we know is all of this could have been avoided. No, war is not always avoidable. But you need someone serious in office to make those hard decisions. You need congressional approval unless there is an imminent threat to our country. We need somebody serious in office. And since y'all seriously opposed the most qualified candidate in the race, it is only fair for you to go sign up. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your ass on the line. How is this shit gonna end? Is it gonna end like Afghanistan ended? Because Afghanistan is in Taliban control. The United States was the main supporter of a democratically elected leader of Iran being removed in the 50s. Okay, United States has always had their thumb on that region, and it has not gone well for us. And now we think it's going to go well. Whether it goes well in the short term, we don't know. And it may. But long term is the problem. There's children who were gone in a school. What are their classmates going to think of the United States and Israel? How are they going to retaliate? Whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 25 years. I'm no longer debating about Trump with people. I'm not having conversations about, because if you still support Trump, I know that you are in a cult. You are not reachable. And listen, oftentimes people who are in a cult sacrifice themselves and they sacrifice their children for the cult. So y'all go ahead. Go ahead and do that. I wish you the best. Thank you for your service to the country. Prove the love that you have for the country and sign up. Is America really America this time? And like I said, it does not matter how quickly we get in and out. None of that matters. What matters is long term. What matters is the loss of life, and not just American lives. American lives are not the only lives that are important here. It's not. And that's why you have to have serious people in office. But y'all didn't want somebody serious. This is not a serious administration. And these motherfuckers in Congress, most of them are not serious. They're not serious. So let's seriously vote these bitches out. They should have a serious person in charge, someone who's not looking at other people's lives like they are expendable, like they're just casualties. Like, hey, it happens in war sometimes. That attitude is the attitude of the Epstein class who never sends their son or daughter out. Lindsey Graham's attitude was like, hey, if you die, it's a noble cause that you died for. Lindsey Graham, take your old ass on the battlefield and die for a noble cause, motherfucker. Hillary had emails. Kamala had blackness and an annoying laugh. So sign up. And guess what? Saying, well, other presidents have done this and other presidents have done that. That is the most ridiculous response to these things. It's akin to saying, I know you are, but what am I? Like, what? We are focused here on this president, this administration, this war. They can't do it because they don't have a leg to stand on. And like I said, if you're one-legged and you voted for this, take your ass to the office and sign up. Also, since the last podcast, the Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away. Reverend Jesse Jackson loved Black people. And I will never say anything bad about anybody who loves Black people. I remember being a small child and seeing Reverend Jackson speaking on television. And I remember him running for president. And I remember having mock elections in our class and things like that. And I remember his Keep Hope Alive and his I Am Somebody speeches. And I was a small one. And I marveled at this Black man on television and being highlighted so much. And I marveled at the fact that he was running for the presidency. And even though as a child, I knew that that wasn't possible, Reverend Jackson made Barack Obama possible. And so I honor Reverend Jackson and his work for Black people, his work for justice, his work for equality, and rest in peace. Shout out to the women's hockey team. They seem to be getting so many amazing offers to celebrate their success. I know, what's his name? Flavor Flav. I know that Flavor Flav had an offer for them to party in Vegas, and so many sponsors and so many people have taken him up on sponsoring them. And but shout out to the women's hockey team. Listen, let's stop pretending. Can we do this? Let's stop pretending that we are just shocked and appalled by sexism. Oh, the president said this about the women's hockey team. And what? Now let's stop pretending that we are shocked. I'm not shocked by this president being sexist. Why is that shocking? When we have everything that we know from the Epstein files. This country has proven that they do not care about women. And even women in this country don't care about women. So shout out to those who are uplifting the accomplishments of the women's hockey team. By the way, no matter what they do, we're not going to stop talking about those Epstein files. No matter how many countries are bombed, no matter how many bullshit policies or clowns that he appoints to this circus of an administration, We are going to still talk about those Epstein files. The fact that so many people are okay and excuse pedophilia is actually not surprising to me. I was thinking about this the other day, how, especially Trump voters, how they have excused, a lot of them excused the whole Epstein thing and still support him. That is not surprising because in this country, we do have a culture of protecting predators. Think about this. I can give you so many examples of things like this happening, but think about in your own families how you have that pedophile uncle or that pedophile cousin, and the family's attitude about it is don't talk about it. Oh, you can't talk about it. The fact that the uncle touched you. You can't talk about the fact that that man made you uncomfortable because you don't want to make him uncomfortable. You don't want to make the family uncomfortable. And if people who usually are the truth tellers who point these things out, they're usually the ones who are ostracized, not the predator. I remember having a conversation with someone many years ago, and she was telling me about the assault that happened to her from her uncle. Her uncle sexually assaulted her. He was living actually in the same home with her parents. Her uncle sexually assaulted her, and her mother found out. I don't really remember if she told her mother or how her mother found out. The uncle was never reported to authorities, it was just kept in the family. And she was also expected to be around this uncle. The mother did not cut her brother off. He was still at Christmas dinner. He was still at Thanksgiving. She was still forced to be around him. And I think the assault was one thing. That was horrific. But in my eyes, she kept being assaulted over and over and over again by having to see him, having to navigate her family with that uncle in it, with him being accepted still in the family, still allowed to be around children. That's a perfect example of how predators in this country are protected and how children, especially girl children, are not. I also remember having a conversation with someone who is extremely religious, and she had also been assaulted by a family member as a child. And she said Jesus had healed her heart. Jesus had changed her heart, and she was able to be around him and speak to him and smile at him and have him be a part of her extended family because she has forgiven him. And I thought to myself, how horrible that sort of brainwashing is. Because, yes, even if she didn't feel a fear anymore, to expose yourself to that kind of sickness and to allow that kind of evil to surround you and your vulnerable family members is a way of protecting that predator. Because it is saying, I am the one who needed to be fixed. I am the one who has to work on myself and be a better Christian so that I can be around him. And look at me, I'm such a good Christian. I have forgiven him. But what about him? And so there is this culture in this country of protecting predators that we have to stop. And how do we stop it? We stop it by calling it what it is. We stop it by saying their names. How many times have we seen in the press that actresses have said, I was assaulted by a certain director. I was raped by a certain producer. This happened to me. But that person is never named. Never named. That is protecting the predator. I can tell you myself that I know of a situation of an uncle who has molested or been inappropriate with several girls in his family. Several. And it's never talked about. I know someone who was actually molested by someone and she invited his ass to her wedding. The fuck? Just let things go. Don't make it a big deal. You don't want to be the one causing problems. You just want to let it go. And that does something to the spirit of a child, that does something to the spirit of a woman, and that does something to embolden predators. We got to start protecting the children. It is not more important that your brother be at dinner than your child's being comfortable. We should be telling our girls, hey, if a man makes you feel uncomfortable, this is what you do. This is what you say. Teach your children to curse when it's necessary. Okay? If you are at a family gathering and a man touches you inappropriately, that is not the time to be quiet. That's the time to scream, "This motherfucker just touched me." That's how you get attention. Okay? That's how you do it. Because if not, the letting go, the letting things go, the being uncomfortable with speaking up for yourself and not wanting to cause a scene will follow them their entire lives. And that means they're just poised for more victimization. Speaking of like people preying on people, did you guys watch the America's Next Top Model documentary on Netflix? So I was not an avid watcher of America's Next Top Model. I saw a few episodes, but I wasn't what you would call a fan. But to see the documentary and to hear the stories of what those young women experienced is insane. Maybe that's why I wasn't born 6 foot and gorgeous, because I would have been a good personality candidate for something like that. I would have told Tyra, fuck you, and your avatar looking at, I just would have not, I would have failed miserably. That was something. And the girl whose sexual assault was recorded, nobody there thought that maybe we should stop this. Nobody. We just had to get it on camera. Let me tell you something. Reality television is evil. It is just nasty. Like everything that I have seen with reality television shows normally women being catty and mean to each other. And of course, dressing up in Chanel every day in order to do that. What are we selling here? What are we selling? Outside of the real world, the early years, I'm talking about the Heather B years. Heather, when you had Heather B and Julie and Kevin and all of them in the house. Outside of that, reality television has given us just the worst of everything. The worst portrayals of women, especially Black women. I hate the reality television aesthetic. Why is everybody dressing up in Chanel every day with fake lashes and weaves to their ass crack? What is going on? This is not real life. People got to go to work. It's low level entertainment. And maybe that's what people want. They want an escape. And I'm not judging them for it. I'm just saying that what you consume is who you become on so many levels. And I just am not into eating shit. I wanted to touch on this, and in other news, trans people now can't drive in Kansas. Listen, I have a question. I really don't understand. Why are y'all so obsessed with trans people? Do you all understand how small the trans population is? The insecurity of people who are transphobic is puzzling to me. They voted for a warmonger because they couldn't handle someone changing their name from Michael to Michelle. How is that impacting your life? Are y'all safer in the bathrooms now? Do you feel safer? So trans people, unless they get their license changed to their assigned sex at birth, then they can't drive. And how is that? What is that doing for you in your life? Is that making the cost of groceries less for you? Because listen, the price of everything has gone up. But they don't care about that because listen, Robert Kennedy Jr. told y'all to just damn it eat liver and other cheap cuts of meat. Don't try to buy beef and chicken and all of that. Eat your ass some liver. It is all fear-based. So it doesn't make sense to me. Y'all are worried about who's driving. Hope you feel better in Kansas now that trans people have to go through all this trouble to get a license. Y'all are foolish. And because you are foolish, you elect foolish people and you get foolish ass results. You get foolish ass legislation. Congratulations, Kansas. Y'all are dumb. Y'all are dumb as fuck. You got your war. You got your war. You got your racists in the White House. You have unqualified appointments. You have bad Supreme Court decisions, but damn it, trans people can't drive. Was it worth it to you? Perhaps if a trans woman walks past you, you have a fear that your porn search history will suddenly appear on your face for the world to see. Why are you so shook? You have deep issues and you should get some therapy for those issues. I don't know what to tell you. How did it get to be March already, you guys? How did it get to be March already? I was telling some like I enjoy the fall and I enjoy the winter so much that I don't want to let it go. Today already it snowed a little bit, but it's warming up and it's going to be raining and I'm in the Northeast, so I'll experience cool temperatures for a while, but I really feel like and I've said before, I feel like I get seasonal depression or something in the summer, and I'm really going to try this year to make the most of summer. I, I'm just not a person who's fond of sunshine and warmth. I guess. Maybe I'm truly a vampire or something, but it's not my thing. I love today because it's a rainy day, it's very gray. I can deal with like a day of sunshine, maybe two, maybe even three, but any more than that feels oppressive to me. So I am preparing myself, trying to prepare myself mentally for spring and summer. It's coming. It's actually approaching just way too quickly. The one thing that I have been looking forward to is Bruno Mars's album, which apparently it dropped this week. I don't know when it dropped, but someone told me last night that it had dropped. So I haven't even listened to it yet. I'm going to listen to it today. I'm super excited for it because that is what we need. With all the shit that's going on in the world, the shit that's going on in this country, I keep saying I need things that make me feel good. I need things to make me feel good. I need people to make me feel good. I am a hedonist at heart. I believe in pleasure. I believe in joys. And music is one of those things that does that for me. And on that note, thank you for listening to the Rich Spencer podcast. You can listen to this podcast everywhere you listen to podcasts. Please like and subscribe on YouTube at Rich Spencer and on Instagram at Rich Spencer. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Hang in there.